Everybody like
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's start the meeting then today. Brent Knoll Parish Council. Any apologies for absences?
We had apologies from Malcolm and from Jonathan. Jonathan's working, Malcolm's unfortunately in hospital. Two apologies, so accept those.
Are we going to accept those?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Declaration, any declarations, registered interest or dispensations?
Not as usual.
Bob?
My normal one for the council, and also we haven't got anything on the whole today, have we? No, so just the council.
Amanda's got one payment.
I've got two because one's my brother-in-law's payment and one's mine. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So payments basically.
Okay. Approval of minutes. Anybody got any adding or changes to do to the last set of minutes?
Just one thing I will mention about the minutes, because these, as they are, do not comply with the search intent of the AGAR, I now redo them for the website only, because I still think this layout is better for the hard copies. I don't like the disabled access version of it, so I simply do a PDF, a separate version for the website, and then we'll use these original ones as a hard copy. Because this has got a little logo on it as well, generally this looks nicer. Okay.
It's working. Okay, anybody got any amendments or any comments on the, happy to approve them?
You just sign there. Whilst we're signing, just let me know, Andy has also signed his declaration of office. Okay.
Okay, no public in today. Anything from the public that should be raised at this point? No? Okay. Let's go on to planning. Planning 07268. And I think it's just
that arboreal one.
arboreal one, isn't
A
it?
lengthy one, and I didn't bother to download it because I didn't think it would tell me that much.
I've had a look at it, and I would suggest that we have no comments on it, because it generally arboreal matters which we generally see fit to pass through anyway.
No observations.
I'll propose that we approve that. I have no comments on that one.
Thank you.
Anybody second? Carry. Clerk's correspondence?
Right, got quite a number of things on here actually, bits and pieces. Some of them might be covered later on actually, so we perhaps don't need to go into it too much. We received a request to have a stand outside the shop. I don't know whether you saw the email that went through. I'm not entirely sure how big this thing is. I mean, I've asked them the question, I haven't had an answer yet. But until we get an answer, we can't really make a firm decision. And how often do they want it? Do they want it monthly, weekly? Do they want it just one off? I just don't know. So I can't really tell you very much, other than they've applied for it. So as soon as they come back to me, I'll write to you and tell
Have
you.
they given a definition of what this standard's going to be for?
I'm not sure. Do you know?
It's a collection of charity. Yeah,
Charity.
that's all it is. It's only
It's a one-off, isn't it?
yeah, just a one-off thing, that's all it is.
I,
It's only a little box with two people
Is
stood
that all
there.
it is? Okay.
yeah, I did respond, but noticed that I had no feedback on it. But my comments was, it's a one-off, as long as it doesn't breach our insurances, as long as they do a risk assessment on it, because it will be close to the road. It's a one-off. I see no reason for not allowing them to have it.
Maybe a public liability certificate, maybe possibly something like that. I mean, they're volunteers, so they probably,
Yeah.
you know,
They're a proper charity then.
yeah,
Should have
yeah,
something.
should have something.
Does anybody want to propose the suggestion put forward by Colin? Okay, seconded. Everybody else, everybody in?
Can I just make one comment, subject to it the feedback coming formally? Because I know Abe's given his feedback, but I think we should get formal feedback from the shop. So on what
Yeah,
it's
I
for,
was
that it is a one-off.
going to say that as well, because
It's nothing to do with the shop.
no, but it depends how big it is and how the frequency is. If they're going to want to be there every day, or I've been to like some of their, the places, and they're on this membership drive at the moment where they are kind of approaching everyone that goes past and trying to, you know, and whether or not it might be just a little bit invasive if it's all the time. If it's just a one-off, fair enough. But.
Okay.
I was only going to say, I think if we give them permission for the one-off, then we can see how it works, and if they come back to us in the future, they can assess that then. We're only giving them the one try.
Happy with that?
We'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. I'll do that. I'll work back to them. Website progress we're covering later on. ANPR, quite discussions backwards and forwards between Neighbour Somerset Police and myself, and I'm obviously thought aware of some of the conversations we've had. There's not much to say on it, other than we're waiting for something to come back from the Chief Superintendent, Stephen McKenna, who's going to first be writing to us to tell us what the future of the ANPR is and how they're going to progress it going forward. Because this has been a bit of a contentious issue, really. So all I can say on that one, it's on the radar, and we're trying to sort it as quickly as possible. SID damage was another thing that I was going to put on my. One of the SIDs has been damaged outside in Brent Street. Did you see my email? It's in Brent Street. It's outside the village agent's house. It's outside Kim's. So that's where it got damaged, basically. He reckoned that the pole was a bit short there, which could mean perhaps we should increase the length of the pole. I don't know. But we've had SID damage before. In fact, the last time we had SID damage was about November of last year. It went back to the manufacturers, and we've never had a bill for it, actually. They quoted us £400 including new batteries, 488 including new batteries, and they've never actually come back and invoiced us at all. So the actual cost of the unit to repair was about 290 or something, 290. So it's a question of whether Stuart's got in his garage at the moment, so it's a question of whether we want to get it done. I'm sure we do. I'm pretty positive. We just want to do the same job as we did on the one last time.
Oh,
Yeah, can I propose that we do get it done, but also that we instruct Stuart not to use that post in the meantime? Because obviously, did he come back and tell us when the first one was damaged, whether that was the same location? Or was
The
it?
first one was in Burton Road.
Okay, so we just need to be careful as to which ones we're using, because obviously if they're going to get hit, that is not going to stand up to it. So.
Okay.
is it lorry wing mirrors that are doing this?
It's the lorry wing mirrors that's clipping it and that all the time, and the poles are too close to the road. They're only like 6 inches. Well, that ANPR, when it goes up, it's like 12 inches. So it's overhanging the road. So either the poles need moving back into the more into the council verge, or we move the pole somewhere else where we have got more of a verge. That's what he's looking at.
It would probably be easier to get that pole manufactured to tee it off back rather than move the pole.
Well, it's a bigger pole because it needs for the strength. Yeah.
Well, so in the short term, we'll get the unit back and ask Stuart not to use that pole in the immediate future.
Colin?
Yeah, Owen, when you get the response from the police regarding the ANPR, can you let us know? Because I think if they're going to ditch the ANPR, we should say, well, you gave us funds for that. We would like some recompense and we'll buy a new SID unit with it. Or discuss it with them.
I've sent the replies out to all the council. I mean, it's just one of those dialogues we seem to have got into, and they're very good at passing the buck. There's a guy called Trevor Simpson, who Colin, you may have met when he came originally. Well, he passes it somewhere, and then you go to Damien Devane, and he said, well, I'm not anything to do with it anymore. I'll send a note to Stephen McKenna, who's the superintendent for traffic. And of course, she's a busy woman, and so this is not very high priority on her list, of course. So we just go round and round in circles, and we don't seem to get anywhere. But I'm still uploading some data, but I'm not. I mean, some of the data I've had recently, I've just had one now come through from Stuart, and there's about 200 on there that breach. And then, now that is, I don't mind the time-consuming element of it, providing I know that the data is going somewhere. It's not just going into the ether, and no one's doing anything about it. So I'd like to know somebody who's gone through there and had a letter. It was like somebody to go through it and get a letter.
Yes, sorry.
There is something I've got on the APR that I've been speaking to with Stuart, so I can bring that up later on in the other matters, which is very good for us if we can.
Okay. The other thing I sent out the other day was South invitation for whole council training. South are offered councils now the opportunity to have a whole council, rather than just doing a few people from each council over a big area. If you wanted them to come and do a whole subject topic to one council, they would do it either on Zoom or come physically and do it. Just something to think about. I sent out a note the other day, I think. They do a whole variety of subjects. Council responsibility, code of conduct, there's a whole load of things. If you give it some thought, because I think it's quite new they're offering. We did pay quite a chunk of money to them every year, so it might be, I know they're going to charge for it, but it wouldn't be what I call the standard charge for someone doing a training session with sort of 11 people. It wouldn't be that sort of cost.
Do they have an agenda of what they
on the note I sent out, there were some examples on there, the sort of things that they will do. But they can tailor it to anything we want, basically. So it might be worth a thought anyway, for the future, maybe into the autumn, perhaps.
Has anybody got any thoughts at the moment? Because the agenda, what was on there, isn't there, for this activity?
No, I think they would do anything that we thought was useful. Planning application responses, I think that's one of the things that was on there. So, matter for you to decide, really. If there's anything there that you think might benefit.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder if we could get him to come and we could say 3 or 4 topics and then him to do a little bit on each.
Yes.
And just give everyone a little bit of a brief on, a few things.
All right. Well, give it a bit of thought, and then I'll say I'll go back to him on that and say that we would be interested, but we need to come back to him with some concrete things. Thai food van permission. I have written to the guy, and they want to come between 5 and 8 on a Thursday, and they've got their own power source, own generator.
Can we ask if it's a loud generator or a quiet one? Because we had an observation across the road and we're on the last one.
So, yeah, so you want me to just check the noise levels.
Yeah.
Or would it be perhaps worth just having them come for a couple of weeks and have to see how it sounds? Test it.
Yeah.
We will monitor the sound. We could say that to them. We monitor the sound. But yeah, they're happy to come in principle.
Chair, I suggest we, like Owen said, just give them a try.
Yeah.
Tell them to come here a week after the Chippy's been here.
Yeah.
Well, not Chippy, it's a Chippy, yeah. After Chippy's been, they come the week after, give them a go, see if there is any complaints, but the main person that complains is moving, so it'll be alright.
Depends how much they like Thai food,
Just give them a
if
note.
it's too noisy or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go back to them on that. Somerset Fields play inspection. We said back earlier in the year we're going to change our annual inspection regime so that GB Sports weren't doing the monthly and doing the annual as well. And the people that were going to do it have already cancelled it twice. Somerset play inspection come back to me twice and said they had a date, and then come back to me and said they couldn't do it on that date. Gone back to them today and said, look, I think a third time will probably be too much. So if you can't give us a firm date to do it, we probably need to think about who we're going to use. So just keep you updated on that one. And council insurance, we are covered from the 1st of June. Last week it was a bit questionable whether we were going to get there or not, but we've paid them, and we'll be covered now from the 1st of June under the original insurance policy, which I keep an eye on from time to time to make sure we're fully covered in all the areas where we should be. So that's rather a lot for me, but there we go.
Any questions on any of that? All okay? Okay. So we've gone to working groups and the reports. So we're going to go issues raised on footpaths for Colin and Amanda. Yeah.
Nothing from me.
No, I think we're all okay, really.
Edie?
Oh, sorry, there's only one thing, just thinking about it. Andy and I rectified the problem in the bridge in the little field. Owen, is it? What's her name that owns the field? Sheila Berry. In Sheila Berry's field, we got rid of that. But on the other bridge, one of the things is coming loose now, one of the steps. And I wondered if we could follow up what's happened to the delivery of the new bridges that we were promised.
Is this the work that Steve Pin is?
That was the
Yes.
Chris East, wasn't it? It was,
Yeah, Chris East was
Steve Pin was going to do it, wasn't it? Chris East was supplying.
and Stephen Pin was going to do it.
I have sent an email to Steve Pin because I just thought time had gone on a bit. I hadn't actually heard from him. Just about 2 weeks ago I sent an email out to him when we had Ian Durston's invoice came in. I decided to send an email.
Any, Bob?
I was only just going to comment on that because there's two bits for Stephen Pin. There's the two kissing gates, which is the one that we were chasing up that he hasn't done. But this is not that we were aware of. But the other bit is the two big bridges that Chris East was going to commission are separate from us. So
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
So is that the bridge we're talking about? That's a different contractor.
So it's if I may, it's the Somerset Council are commissioning those two bridges to be done.
Yeah.
They may well use the same contractor that we've used elsewhere, but the bit that we were chasing through Owen was the two kissing gates that we contracted with Steve Pin to do up on the knoll.
Which are done.
Not that we're aware of,
No.
and we haven't been billed for them, so
No.
still got the kissing gates.
Still got them.
The last I heard was I right that somebody said they've been stored and somebody couldn't get them out of the storage? Was that one of the excuses coming back? So we need to go back to the contractor, and if he doesn't want to do the job, we'll move it on to another contractor.
Well, we had a quote, of course, from Ian Durston. Of course, we did it.
Eddie?
Footpaths is terrible because the stalls that we've repaired that's been done. I brought it up at an last meeting. It needs a group to go around and cut them all out. There's so many people scratching their stamps and that lot, especially in the walk that we've had, and they just can't get through the stall. They've got to turn their stamps and breathe in to get through it because it all needs chopping down. So it needs a working group to go and do that. There's quite a few of them, all the brambles and that lot and bushes, just need all cutting back.
Can we hold that one separately from this? We'll come back.
Footpaths.
Yeah, no, it's on footpaths. Just. So if everybody's in agreement, we'll speak to the contractor. If he's not prepared to do it in a reasonable time, we'll put it back out to tender, yeah, and get it done. Because the issue I think we've got with the gate down here, the kissing gate is one, but also this gate down here is both the stepping blocks are now loose, and if that goes, we'll be in for a bill. We removed the metal met post, but both the sides of it now are loose. So if we don't get it done quickly, we could have problems. Is everybody okay with that? Yeah, without problems.
I've got that for Steve.
And then Adi, your comment on cutting back on all of the gates.
Yeah.
We can either put out to discussion, we can either say, okay, let's form a working group here, but the working group in here seems to do an awful lot of maintenance for the village. Or we can get somebody with all the machinery to do it, and we pay them, and then we keep it trimmed on a regular basis and keep us out of it. We've got both ways, and if that's, people volunteering for it, it's great and good, but it does mean that we're putting a lot of emphasis on individuals.
2 seconds, David. You got an half hour one day?
Yeah.
Good. Sorted then.
Do you think it will only take half an hour to do all of the footpaths?
There's only 4 to be done. The main 4 that's been repaired.
Sorry, you said all of the footpaths need
Well,
to go back.
the ones that's been repaired,
Right.
right, needs doing.
It means gates, of course.
Yeah.
Places.
Gates.
All the gates that's been repaired need doing, tidying up. Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing I can see if we start doing it, historically we haven't done it because we're then setting a precedent that it's overgrown. The parish council will pay to do that, whereas years ago we would send a letter, and I know John and Margaret would get letters because of the footpath going through here saying please trim it, every owner along would, and then they sort of got the message then, and every year they go out and do it, which I'm happy to go and do some, but I don't know if we're starting something that could then turn into, well obviously I do try and keep the knoll undone in the autumn, but we could spend days and days if we start going around everything. People then say to us, oh, this gate's overgrown, we better go and do that, which is fine to a point, and I'm happy to with it.
But if you look around the table, there's like you and Adi that are potentially up for doing it. If you two aren't available, does that leave it for the rest of us?
Bob and I have done it. Yeah.
Adi?
What Dave just said, and I suggest we write to all the landowners and say that all their gates and stars
Would you like to propose that, Adi?
I propose that we
Second
do it.
Okay, let's,
Right,
yeah. I think we hold off until we get
Is
the
it worth
response.
for Brent Knoll use sort of, if you've got a style on your property,
And the
could
rest.
you keep it clear, style gate?
I think my concern is we land up doing all the maintenance around the village,
Yeah.
and A, there's not enough for us, and B, we've all got other things to do. You already give up a lot of time.
Can you let me know who the gate, which landowners we're talking about? Do we know what they are? Who they are?
No, but you've got the list of gates that were repaired, so you've got plan then, so you should know
Should know.
what they are, yeah. I don't know who they
What
are.
landowners mean.
David knows two of them,
Yeah, do you want me to?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just let me know the
I
landowners.
haven't been out there, if I'm honest.
I know the rights, not, you know.
Yeah.
If I can, if you give names into Owen,
Yeah.
and we're right officially,
Yeah.
so rather than us taking it on our own.
I don't want to write to the wrong person.
No.
No, that won't go down very well.
Okay,
Okay, all right.
anything else on footpaths? Okay. Highways, what goes on here? Jane?
No. Other than fire. My usual moan about the corner of Station
No, you go
Road
first.
and Green.
What?
Yeah, a couple of things. At the surgery, had someone come along who was asking that we could contact Highways about the difficulty of exiting all the junctions onto Brent Street. That's sort of Battleborough Lane, Church Lane, and Manor Ride, on the basis of just saying it's getting more and more difficult with, again, vehicles being parked opposite the junctions, getting out with vehicles coming at speed. And it's going to need Highways to look at whether there's anything they can do in terms of encouraging neighbours to cut their hedges back better, but also potentially lining. But that has to go through county, and they would say it has to come through the parish. So it was asked to raise that if we would be supportive of the parish writing to ask that.
Yeah,
Well, I'll propose that, because I
Yeah.
think some of the
I
junctions
second
are
that.
absolutely nice.
Dreadful.
it is getting worse.
People parking opposite them is a major problem.
Yeah.
Because you've got to know into the flow of traffic.
Is it a BKN thing? It's another BKN thing?
Yeah,
Just-
as well.
And you had your hand up too.
Yeah, cars parking on the pavement again opposite the cottages on Burton Road.
Yeah.
Round the corner, they're still parking on the verge, so you can't walk on the path. Because obviously the cars are, half on the curve and half on the road, which is against the law anyway. Highway,
Whereabouts is this actually?
go across from Brent Street into Burton Road, it's the first row cottages on the left. Yeah. Highway code 417, I think it's like that, I can't remember what it is, but it's against the law. Edges opposite Crooked Lane on the far side, they're overgrown on the pavement, you can't walk through, and it's causing obstruction in that lot. Especially for vehicles as well, because it's overran, some of the vehicles got to come out more, so that needs cutting down. School sign, which is at Highways, outside Holly Cottage, that needs moving away from where it is and brought forward about another 20 foot, so it's away from the house and away from the holly bush. You cannot see it, even though it's cut back now, you still can't see it. So that will need moving because no one can read it.
Can we move that?
That's Highways.
That's Highways, yeah.
I was going to say, is it our responsibility?
No, it's a letter, that's what I'm saying.
We finish. Is it our responsibility to make sure the actual owner cuts it down? Because you should be able to see that sign without any hedges overgrown?
If I may, I saw the owner and we had a discussion, and in fact, we asked permission if we could do the work. So basically, what's been done, I did, but I've cut it as much as I could without completely decimating his plants, which he didn't want completely decimated. So basically, I've taken as much off as you can, but it's still, you can see it better than you could, but you can't see it fully.
I don't know where we stand with regards to that. So if it was like a 30-mile-an-hour sign and someone's hedge is covering it, surely I would have thought that's.
The school sign is just as important as a 30-mile-an-hour sign.
I was using that as an example.
Yeah.
So
It's not the only school sign, because there's one further on as well, so
Yeah.
it's a stage of them. But
is there anyone we can get guidance from? Because I would be reluctant to turn around and say we need to pay for a sign to be moved, when unfortunately this, I don't even know whose property it is. Their plant is obscure.
it's not up to us to pay for it to be moved.
Yeah.
If we do this, all we're doing is saying to highways, there's an issue with this. We've tried to do as
So
much
they
as we
may
could,
turn
but
around.
would you like to think about moving it? But it'll be up to them.
It's their accountability, isn't it?
Yes.
It's not our accountability.
Just locate location once more on that.
If we can ask them if it can be located further down,
Yeah, but where is it now?
Where?
outside Holly Cottage.
Holly Cottage.
Yeah, well, outside where sitting room window.
Where is Holly Cottage?
Just see it.
Right next to the green.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All done, Eddie?
Bridges again, very bad. Wick Lane, Middle Street, Station Road, Wick Lane. That's it.
And your tag team with him with 80. I had raised with him again some residents in Manor Ride asking if they could have yellow lines to stop school parking. I have raised it with the county and they've said it wouldn't qualify for yellow lines, so they've suggested we spoke to the school, which I've done. Headmaster is going to be talking to the parents again, asking them to be more responsible. But in terms of purely putting yellow lines down to stop school parking, it's a non-starter. So
Unless there's a traffic warden coming past.
Yeah.
Or a policeman at that particular time.
Yeah, they still click on the yellow zigzags.
Yeah.
but as I say, school are trying to do what they can, so they're going to talk to parents. And the final thing I'm going to mention is, again, Amy has reported it, and so by the abandoned car out in front of here. So both the police and county are aware of it. At the moment, it is taxed and MOT'd. It won't be for much longer, and we have flagged up to the authorities that they need to try and do something with it. But until the dates are hit, they say they can't because it's parked legally and it's taxed and MOT'd. We have raised the fact that it is blocking access to the green for large vehicles, which would be the case in July. So hopefully we can push for it to be done before that. But it is actively being pushed by a number of people.
It would be actively pushed.
Don't worry, I was going to ask you later.
Okay. Anything else on footpaths? Highways, sorry. You clear on that? Okay. Okay, flood action group.
Yeah, I went on another seminar the other day. Bit more about what we do and what we don't. Still trying to get hold of some equipment, Visi jackets and stuff like that. But because we're not a major flood risk area, then it's probably something we won't get because we're not, flooded. We've been flooded. Well, one place has been flooded in the last 4 years, something like that, in Brent Knoll. That's it. If we had been flooded the whole street or something, then yes, then we might have got something. But I'm still pushing for it. But me and Amanda and David and Colin, because you're in it, we have got to meet up and go down and look at this Bill's place. Because, well, I don't know what's happening down there, but there's eruptions. And I don't own it, you own it, I don't own it, you own it, I don't own it,
Can you elaborate a little bit more on Bill's place?
The Pink Cottage in Burton Road.
Yeah.
The water comes and down onto the drive, down into the green at the back, and then out the back it comes from the Brent Knoll, from the Knoll, and it floods. And everyone's saying that they don't own it; it's all blocked. So, whether the landowner owns it, they're not saying. So we're going to have to go down and have a look and try to find out.
The guys that came in that time to talk us about the reads and everything, would they be able to provide some guidance on who owns
They've
it?
already been.
Have they already been?
I've asked as well, they don't know. They say land changes hands and no one registers it, sort of thing. So they don't know who owns what nowadays in Brent Knoll.
Well, I'll take ownership of it and build something on it, and then someone will soon say that they own it.
So we need to make a group up sometime, you know, get down there and have a look. And there's a couple other things that we need to start arrange to meet in here one night for the flood group, for the local residents as well that want to join it, like James. So yeah, so I get Owen to give me the emails that people's email you.
So I think I got most of them.
Yeah, so if you send that to me, then I can send out, and then I'll hopefully book this room. We can do that, can't we, on the council charge?
Let me know and I'll book it.
Aileen, suggestion when you actually send out some dates and times.
Yeah.
Because you'll get.
Oh, no, we'll be sending like 4 dates and 4 times sort of thing. So most people, a certain date, and we go for that one. But yeah, but we've got to meet up and try to get something sorted soon.
Okay. Okay, on the flood action, one more, sorry.
One question. So in regards to the reams and I can't think what the culverts, when the gentleman came and talked to us about it, one of the things that I guess I was very much aware of is on Brent Street there are lots of these culverts that I'm not sure residents are aware they're responsible for. And I'm wondering if we are putting things in the Brent Knoll News to say, can you be mindful of tidying up your areas of land, whether we can mention that, because as a landowner, I'm not sure when I buy a house, I would think, oh, that culvert's mine, I'm responsible for this. So I just wonder if there's a useful post we can put in, not necessarily asking people to do it, but just saying, did you know you are responsible for this?
Okay, Aileen?
Chairman, at the AGM that we had, I did stand up and do a piece on riparian, because you're a riparian owner, I am, most of us are in here, which means that if you've got a ditch right alongside your house, or culvert, whatever, you are responsible for that because it's classed as a riparian owner. So I did say that, and there was a few people in here that, you know, in the hall that listened to that, and hopefully they took it off and told people, but I don't think a lot of them don't know what a riparian owner is.
We have done it in the past as well, Charlie, before this all came up in 2014, when was it? When we had big floods, if you like, we did have a big splurge on advertising what their responsibilities are. So I think people are aware of it, but they probably need to be reminded.
Yeah, as someone that's relatively new to the village, I had no concept of this whatsoever. And we could even, if there's space in the notice board, just put it in, think of your responsibilities. So kind of highlighting it so it's a permanent notice.
But the main thing is, down Brent Street now, not a lot of water flows because of the works that we did at the bottom of Church Lane, which divert the water under Church Lane, down Bodies Lane and out into the reeds there. So effectively, if you look, and David will confirm this, a lot of that water now goes that way rather than that way, to particularly to overcome the problem that we had down there. But yes, I agree, you need to remind people of what their responsibilities are.
I'm okay, my house is on stilts, so.
What about if I speak to them and get them to deliver a load of riparian, send a little book there to say what you own and what you need to do and stuff like that, and whether we can put them in, I know it's going to be a hassle for the Brent Knoll News, slip it into the Brent Knoll News or something like that, or, if I go around and post them, so, every now and then, whatever, and have some books and that lot about it, reminding people that at least that's a book then and they've got it there, and what they have to do and what.
If you can get hold of the book, if we take your slide that talks about that as well, and we'll publish the slide in the book, a photograph of the book, and remind people of their responsibility in the Brent Knoll News, so we can hit it 2 or 3 different times. Because I think Charlie's point is right, we've probably all forgotten about it or not known about it, so it's worth mentioning it.
I know it's a bit very old, but coming onto a website, that makes it perfect thing to go onto the website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. All done on that? Eddie, list ticked?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah.
Village Green on toilet block.
What was it?
On that point, just thinking, because I have no clue and I should have, could we be reminded at the beginning of the month by you, someone?
It was actually the last meeting, David, actually.
Well, yeah.
I did point out that, but yeah, I'm sure we can find some way of communicating.
Sorry,
But
I can do
yeah.
a retrospective one.
but the June motor is 80 actually. So okay. I'll try and I'll try and remember to send it. Because the other thing is you need ideally the template as well. Of course, ideally.
You got the template?
No.
I'll send you one.
Yeah.
The template.
Send a template at the beginning of the month. Not that I want to give you
I'll send
any
you
more
one.
work.
I'll send you one as well, David. Just make sure.
Send it out to everyone at the beginning of the month.
It's only there's a little box on the insurance schedule, sort of tick box thing every year, and it says, "Has your council been responsible for a playground or a play area in terms of regular inspections on a monthly basis?" Yes.
I would say David's missed one is the
not in
official
May.
one that's been missed. I am sure other members have inspected it officially.
Okay.
Okay, contract reviews. We got anything?
Tracy?
It's all looking really good.
We're not getting in from Jason, I've noticed again. It's fallen off the end, isn't it? The schedule.
The schedule, yes.
Schedule.
I noticed that it seems to be being kept up with, and it's all looking really, really
Okay.
good.
So he was there today.
What he's lacking in paperwork, he's making up for in actual
Yeah.
Well,
work.
that's contractor for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Audit and staff review,
Nothing
nothing.
on that.
Website IT team, reviews and updates.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as I explained earlier, we've now got the website up and running. It's now live. And I have done certain notes on it in terms of what we are corporately responsible for, which is minutes, agendas, corporate cultures, and I've done the BKN. They took me perhaps about 3 times as long as they should have done to do those. And I did put a couple of events on there as well. I think I put the Meet group on there, and I think tried that. But there's a lot more that could go on there if we had a bit more administrative support on it. You can't suggestion of having
Yeah, so I have got some time next Friday, so I am going to try and get a meeting with Aubergine, one to look at our email issue that we're facing, and also see if I can get some training for them to go through with me exactly what needs to be done, so therefore I can document it, test it out on maybe it's individuals to make sure this is our official documentation. It maybe even record a video of us doing it. So in Owen's absence, if anybody needs to update things, we can know how to do it. So I'm going to take that as an action and see if I can either get it for Friday with Aubergine or before then. So prior to the next meeting, one, we can get this email problem solved, and also we've got official guidance on what we need to do in kind of plain English. So.
Yes, it's quite hard to get out of Aubergine plain English, but
Yeah.
I did try. Yeah, and we're 97%, the last test, because they do a test every month to see how compliant we are, we're 97% compliant.
Why were we not compliant?
There's some older stuff on there that doesn't have the correct minutes in the format that they were shipped to be. That can be done over time, but it's not a high priority, frankly. And as long as we're 97, some parish councils are only 35%. So,
I mean, do we need to push above 97? What's their cut-off? Is there, 97 sounds to me.
It sounds really good.
Sensible, yeah. Going back on old minutes.
Probably a few documents somewhere that just pushes it off the radar.
So, is everybody happy with the fact that we're at 97%? Somebody propose? Carried, unanimous. It's not going back on.
Shop lighting group next.
I mean, can I just request that you send me details as soon as possible with Imogene details again?
Yes. Okay.
To my personal email address.
Your Gmail address and all.
Yes.
Details.
But if we send it to .gov one, they force you to get to work and tell us that.
Then I won't be able to get the details to sort out the problem.
We should be here again next month with the same thing.
As Bob the Builder says, we will fix it.
Eventually.
Shop liaison group?
Nothing, not aware of, unless there's a meeting take place, that will be very helpful. One thing might be worth mentioning that is I have spoken to solicitors today. Oh, wonderful. Amazing. Must have been a good day actually. And he tells me that the hold up at the moment in the lease is to do with the shop, not us. We've given them the go ahead, saying that we're happy with the lease, just get on and re-sign it, re-date it. Doesn't need to re-sign, re-date it. He went back to the shop because somebody in the shop gave some concerns about a couple of items, which he said that as far as we, both Ellie and I were concerned, that's their solicitor, we were happy with, and you were happy with. For some reason the shop weren't happy with it, but they've never come back. He's gone back with an explanation, and they've never come back to him. So he said, if you can persuade the shop to come back to us, we can get it done.
Can I propose that we email the management committee of the shop and say what we've heard?
Yes.
In order to
Shut the shop.
What was that? Shut the shop?
If they don't sign the lease,
They had
Well, it has signed it, it's not dated, that's the problem at the moment, because they've been sitting on it for so long.
they're not operating in accordance with the rules that we set.
I think I should be
I'm
sorry
sorry.
before I say anything
Yeah,
else.
yeah, I mean, I'll just leave it with me, I'll sort it.
Okay, so the first step then, we're going to put an email to them suggested by Charlie, and then we'll take it from there if we get no response. Yeah.
And then I think if you do word it as in, we may have to look at
We can put some.
pausing trading, yeah.
Can we also make the point that they should have actually come to us if they've got a problem?
We don't know whether they've got a problem or whether it's been an
If
oversight.
there's a problem, we need
It's a
to,
bit of
yes.
detail,
So we
We
need,
can iron out then.
so let's establish where we are with them,
But to
and
be
then we can
fair,
make a
I
decision.
did send a fairly strong email to Charles on 2 occasions this week, because I got so fed up with him ignoring our emails, that he did at least come back to me today. I think he got the tone of my email. I wasn't happy. And he came back and explained to me that it wasn't.
But we all know what solicitors are like, it's blame the other person, so I think
Yeah,
we
just-
reach out directly to the shop and say what we've been
Yeah.
told.
Yeah.
They can turn around and say, well, we weren't aware of that, then at least.
Okay.
I think it's just to back up what Owen has just said, which is a lot of the time that this has been held up has not been shop or us. It has been between solicitors,
Yeah.
but it's that final now, getting it over the line has taken a lot longer than it
And it
should.
could be their solicitor has been told and hasn't passed it on. So we just need to find out exactly where we are,
Yeah.
and then we can push buttons if we need to. Yeah,
I think 18 months is long enough, and it's completely release, really.
I think they probably feel the same way. So let's see where they believe we are.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so Bob, Somerset and Council report, because you got your tie on today.
Absolutely, sorry, I was going to my council meeting, hence this. So, yeah, a couple of things just to mention. Somerset recently had an independent review by the CIPFA, which is the Chartered Institute of Public Finance and Accountancy. They award up to 5 stars for how well they think you're doing. We got 1. So they have described the arrangements financially as weak. The review identifies concerns relating to financial planning, internal controls, accountability, organisational culture, and the pace of the transformation activity. They have highlighted a number of things that Somerset need to look at, and the response from Somerset at the moment is that they've acknowledged the findings and will be expecting to show progress against the review's recommendations. We also, as part of that, had an update in terms of consultancy spend. As you know, we've had a number of consultants in helping to both integrate the different councils that came together, but also to review things like children's services and adult services, trying to improve efficiency. The running cost of that is about 18.9 million so far. So again, that is something that is starting to deliver some saving, but there's more to go. And you may have seen in the press recently, I did sort of highlight last time that we were having some difficulty in appointing a chief finance officer. It has now got confirmed that the interim finance officer in effect is acting as agency, because we used him last year, and the plan was that the new one came in from April. And so the lady that was appointed came in before she started the job, and having spent a couple of days with us, she decided she wasn't taking the post up. We then approached the second person who was on the interview list, who also declined the opportunity. So we have now reappointed the interim finance officer until April of next year. The problem is, because he's interim, you pay a lot more obviously than you pay for a normal appointment. Normal appointment would probably be around about £100,000. We're going to be paying approximately £290,000 for the rest of the year.
That was a long job.
In terms of other things, there has been some improvement in terms of planning enforcement backlog and planning applications. From the peak of a backlog of nearly over 2,000 applications that were across Somerset, that's been reduced by about half, so there's about 1,000 now. They reckon in terms of, and backlog relates to current applications as well, it's not just ones that are overdue. So they reckon the running, ideally for an authority the size of Somerset, you should be operating in about 800 live case, 900. So we're about 300 odd above what we should be. So there's still effort going on to try and reduce that. We have appointed again, it's an interim post, but there's an interim enforcement officer helping to support in the north. Our two other enforcement officers are both now on managed return from sick leave, so hopefully that is now starting to build back up, and there will be more enforcement being able to take place across what was the former Sedgemoor area. In terms of finance, again, an issue has been raised. You'll remember there's a thing called community infrastructure levy, which is where developers have to give money based on their developments. It's been found that there was about £318,000 worth of that should have been taken, which hasn't been. It does affect a number of areas, not us personally, but the largest one is about £190,000 in one go, and the others relate to places like Burnham-on-Sea, Wedmore and Bridgewater. And the final thing I was going to mention is there's a number of surveys being done by Somerset at the moment relating to health issues, one on vaping and one on alcohol support. I'll send Owen a link so that people can partake in these surveys. It's again just trying to get a feedback from people as to their experience both of issues with those products and also how they can be helped. And the final one was there's a food waste pledge that people can sign up to. We're trying to again get people to increase the amount of food waste that they actually get rid of by recycling it. It's one of the biggest weights of stuff that goes into the rubbish now, and if we could get it through the food recycling, it would actually save a significant amount of money in terms of the disposal costs we have to pay for the rubbish. So they're incentivising people to take place in this, because there will be a draw, and if you win the draw, you will get some caddy bags. So you can put inside your caddy to put your food waste. Because they haven't got any money that they can actually offer you as a prize, but they can give you a caddy bag. So, but I will send that link as well for anyone who wishes to take part.
The two surveys, with all the issues that they've got going on, do they really not prioritise their issues?
They are. I mean, obviously they are looking at the finances. It's different sets of people. We still need, and in terms of things, as I say, like this, I'm big trivialising it, but in terms of the recycling, there are tens or hundreds of thousands.
Do a survey on vaping and stuff like that. When you've just gone through a litany of issues, and they're scoring poorly on their audit.
In terms of the health-related ones, we do get significant amount of money from government for local health-related issues, and so if we can make sure that's focused spending, then we can work with, and it's also working how we work with the NHS locally to try and address those services. So it it's not a priority in terms of where those other ones are, but they are. It's the council carrying on with its everyday work whilst other bodies are trying to sort out the finance side.
Thank you, Bob.
No worries.
We feel greatly encouraged. Right, payment list, statutory approval.
Well, yeah, so basically we've got statutory approval for June. This is the March 4th
I'll just
agreement.
put it, because there's two.
Yeah,
There's
this is
one
okay.
here.
Okay.
It's a new look.
Yes.
Yeah, the payment is due in March, nothing's changed, all the statutory payments are the same, contractors, staff costs, etc., all as per March agreement, there's no change. Obviously, I'm going to bring them back if there was to be a difference somewhere. I just need your approval for that, if I may. Okay. Then variable pay payments, we've got 3 or 4. The main one there is in Durston for the work she undertook in May, £1,140. That job and work is complete. That's as per the quote, exactly identical to the quote. So that's one. Amanda was for the £20 new lock for the Hill Lane gate. Yeah, so I haven't. It's in round figure. I think she's got to give me a receipt, and it might be £20 and 50 pence. I'm not sure, but I hope I'm okay with that, whatever it is. GB Sports Work. We've now had an invoice 5323, 20, including the VAT. That's for the new safer surface on the under the climate fund. So that's now completed, and I think it's all satisfactory. The work. Yeah. Somerset Council Installation, they have done some work on the grid, on the bin installation, but still not fully completed. So they'll let me know when it is, and then after that, I'll bring it back to the meeting with payment. So at the moment, I'm not asking for approval on payment on that one until they've accepted deferral of payment. So I'll leave it as this. So it's basically the 3, it's 1140, the 20, and the 5323. Okay, fine.
Chairman, could I just ask, do we, you mentioned earlier in the meeting about the insurance payment. Was that, does that need signing off, or will that be next time?
We took a decision on that. I mean, because it was almost a statutory payment, really, and we couldn't avoid paying it. It wasn't something we had a choice in. So I don't think it needed coming to the meeting because it was something that is compliant. If we hadn't had it, we would have been insured. So, and we're on a 3-year deal with them as well, so it wasn't even a negotiation element to it. So, yeah. Payment list I sent out.
Do you want to get Amanda back in?
Oh yes, sorry.
No, leave her out.
We'll come back to that.
Green Bob.
Sorry, we nearly left you out there.
Well, it's showing me like talking to guys and making something.
Yeah, I sent the circulation of the payments list. I think I sent it yesterday from Scribe, and I also sent today the bank reconciliation. So your Scribe and your bank reconciliation should and do tie up. Okay, and along with the payments list, that doesn't need approval or anything. It's just a matter of fact. I haven't updated the budget.
Was only one thing I was going to ask, in terms of where they've been allocated to, the Somerset Council, which was to do with their missing off the payments for the clerk's salary back in previous years.
Yes.
I think it's down here as special projects at the moment. Should that not be under the show? Because at least it'll only show the clerk's salary, whereas otherwise we'll think we've spent special projects money.
Go anywhere you like, basically. The only problem is, I'm not sure it will be an easy one to get through the AGAR next year as part of that. So we might need to put it as, I could put it as a separate item, a separate code number, under special finance or whatever, without it included. I think that might be better than putting it under staff costs.
Can we not just asterisk it and put it in the comment line?
No, there's no room for that in the AU, unfortunately. So I think I'll make a separate entry.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Happy with that, yes.
Yeah, okay. There is no budget as yet, pre-updated budget, 31st of May, which you will get in the next few days. Apologies for that. And the AGAR papers have gone off to the external auditor. And as far as I know, it should be okay.
When do we normally get their feedback?
July. I mean, I gave them 2 pages of explanations as to why we were lowering our expenditure this year and their income. They'll come back with something, I'm sure they will. They normally do. They feel they need to earn their £470 a year. So they'll come back and say, that's been very cynical.
So I was going to say, you're such a cynic.
Not like me at all.
It takes them that long to open things out.
On finance, I don't think there's anything else.
Everybody happy with the finance section? Yeah, no comments? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Minutes and considerations for decisions from May 2026.
Yeah.
Got anyone take
First
this?
one covered, isn't it?
Yeah.
Resolution.
We've confirmed with the tie, so that's the tie wagon coming up. AMPL, we've got that. Flood-related matters.
Was this something you wanted on the
Sorry, sorry, go on.
Right,
I did say come back.
Stuart, the other day Stuart was at mine putting the AMPL, take it down, one or the other. He was saying that the police, I'm surprised you haven't heard of it, £5,000 grant for 2 brand new SIDS, solar panel ones. So you don't need no batteries and nothing like that. Apparently they give you a grant of £5,000, which covers the 2 solar systems. And also, to take the pressure off you, can't we get Stuart to do all the paperwork from these SIDS, right? And he does it for a couple of hours a month, he does it twice a month and sends it off to the police, because he's always talking to the police and stuff like that, correspondence and stuff like
You're
that.
talking about SIDS, you're not talking about the NPR?
Yeah, sorry, the APR, yeah.
The only thing I can think of at the moment is the data protection issue.
Yeah, well, he's got that because he does it for video.
Yeah, he does. Possibly, I mean, that might be an answer.
Okay.
Considering an answer.
Take the pressure off of you, look.
Yeah, two pieces there.
Yeah.
First piece was on the AMPR 5k contribution. Do you know how we go about that? Did he give us a clue? Or?
No, he did say he sent it to you.
I haven't had anything from
Oh.
Stuart on that.
Oh, it'll be round later.
We're talking about the SIDS for the 5k grant.
Yeah, the SIDS.
Yeah,
Okay.
he'll be round tomorrow, so if I catch him tomorrow, I'll have a chat about it.
I'll make some inquiries.
Yeah, so everybody happy we chase up and find out if there is a grant for
Because
the
that would have been
SIDS?
saved us having the other one repaired, of course, if we were going to do that. If we were going to get 5 grand K for the 2 new ones.
I was going to say, oh,
That's the same grant that Colin went for, and we got the contribution from the police that went to the AMPR. So I mean, we can certainly have a look at it. The fact that we already had one might make it more difficult for us to get it again, but there's no harm in asking.
Try.
well, on the downs they're not supporting the AMPR.
I'll look back on the records I've got to who we actually submitted to, because it wasn't the police directly, it was
Police Community Trust.
yes, a trust fund that they have.
But yeah, we can follow that up actually.
Okay, so that's the first one. So that's the SID unit. So going back onto the second one, then, did you want to?
Because he was saying to me, he said about, do you get any letters or do you, I said, well, I don't know all about it. I said, none of us know, it's only Owen that does it. And he said, well, I do it, he said, and I wouldn't mind doing it for a couple hours a month. And he can send it off to him, because he's got all the data anyway, so he can send it off to him and get the feedback, whatever. So it just frees you up for them 2 hours, whatever hours you take to do it, when we pay him.
But there is
Do
a
it.
financial cost, and it depends on how
Yeah.
much he charges.
£20
Far
an hour.
away or cheap.
£20 an hour?
£20 an hour, he
So
told me.
£40 a month.
Very cheap. No, I have no problem either, mate. I mean, yeah, I mean, it depends, in a way, it depends how long the website takes to update, really, because if the website and the NPR collectively are quite a big amount of hours, if you look at it. But the website won't always be like that. Once we get the drift of it, once we get working on it, it won't be a problem. If optimistically. Up to you, really. I mean, I think it's a matter for you whether you want to pay somebody else another fee to do a job that
I was going to say, can we propose to ask whether it's even possible? Because we're making an assumption that Stuart will do it.
Yeah.
Let's find it out, and I think at the next meeting or even the one afterwards, we go back and decide if it's something we want to do, where we've got the financial numbers and
I was
everything.
just saying, yeah, what you just said, let's propose that we have a word with Stuart.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
see if
next
there's
meeting.
Yeah, defer.
Okay.
It's just taking the pressure off of Owen as well. That's what I'm thinking of, because
I mean, at the moment, you know, as you know, it's set at a fairly, not mentioning figures, but it's set at a higher level.
Generous.
Yeah, exactly.
but every month it's a moan about it all the time. Every month there's always a moan about the ANPR. So to take that off of you, you're not going to be moaning about it each month.
Yeah.
But there's a second and third piece to this, isn't there? So yes, we can do that and bring it to the next meeting.
Yeah.
But we've also got to figure out from the police whether actually this is going to continue. So before we commit to any contracts,
Yeah, but exactly.
we need to see whether we've got it.
Because at the end of the day, if they're not going to continue it, then of course we would probably still keep the camera in place and make it as a sort of deterrent. But you know, we wouldn't want to be broadcasting that if that was to be the case. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that we haven't made that decision, haven't taken that.
So just before I come to you, Adi. So on that, when we're having a conversation around it, looking at the experts around the table, would we be able to have that conversation in a closed session?
Yeah. That's the reason why.
Yeah. So let's minute that we will discuss the future of the
NPR.
NPR. Yeah. Sorry, Adi.
You could always ask Stuart if he wanted to come down and explain to us all about it.
Yeah.
It's something that that we want to look at because it takes the pressure off all of us, whatever, and yourself.
Okay, so if we do the piece where we ask the police whether they're going to go on with it, and maybe put an invite to Stuart to come and join us at the next meeting, and have the conversation with us, and hopefully we'll have 2 pieces of data before we make a decision.
Can I just ask, who is Stuart? I'm hearing the name.
He's the contractor that does all the SIDS and the ANPR around here, plus everywhere, all around Somerset and New Left the whole
What's his
Somerset.
actual? Because to me that sounds like that's a maintenance role. Like he's a
Yeah.
But
He puts them
not
up, takes them down,
represented, yes.
repairs them,
It's
replaces
not a
them.
representative from the police or anything like that.
support services.
Right.
But he has to sign a data protection document.
Right.
So
He's
he
all
won't
data protected.
share the data
Yeah.
with anybody else,
Right. Okay.
as indeed I do as well.
Okay, so we're happy with those actions, yes? So we're going to ask Stuart to join us
Yes.
at the next meeting,
Yes.
and prior to that, we will have a view and a conversation around whether we're going to continue the ANPR. Yeah,
Subject to getting that information.
subject in the information back, and we will hold that in a closed meeting. Okay. Well, that was easy, wasn't it? Okay, to consider updating the website. Flood-related matters including the radio church.
That's almost related to the hills to level stuff as well, isn't it, really? So that's covered at number F. So maybe the two need to be
Cover
together.
that on F then? Is it a full piece? Because it's a big piece of work.
Yeah.
Okay. And then considerations for updating the new website.
Which we've always covered. We've done that under the.
And we're happy with where we are with that. Okay. 2 toilet signs. Consideration question 2
That's
toilet.
me. So, yeah, get to the.
Can I ask
Get
what
serious.
type of toilet signs?
Exactly. So all it was I've been surprised how many people who are around the shop area visiting the village have no idea we have public toilets. And when you think about it, there's actually no sign that tells you at all. So all I was asking was whether we could put in effect just a standard toilet sign on the front of the building and one on the side. So whichever direction you get to see that there are public toilets, but it would just mean ordering a couple of signs and getting them put up. But obviously it needs to be decided by the council.
Anybody propose? Seconded? Approved?
It's an area and signs job, is it? Do you think?
It could be, or it could be an on.
Online.
Yeah, it's a one-word
So we're
sign.
talking sort of what?
You're talking about basically something that would be 2 bricks wide by 2 bricks deep.
So that's legible. Just while we're on that, do we want to talk about this damage to the handle on the toilet? Because if we're open, because I didn't
You're
realise we're open 24 hours, so why is somebody bending the handle?
My specialist subject now, the toilet bowl. So I had a notice that one of the signs, one of the handles has been broken on the outside of the toilets. So somebody is obviously trying to force the actual handle. We have mentioned it to the builders just to come out, because at the moment the way it's operating is actually going to scrape against the door and damage the paint surface as well. So it doesn't affect the actual operation because the locking mechanism inside is separate from the outside handle, and you can still open and shut it perfectly. But it's just something that we needed to get repaired in order to not do any more damage to the door. And somebody must have given it a feral thump to have bent it out of alignment. But he said that could be dealt with just by putting another rod through it. Apparently, he can get that sorted, and he was going to give a quote to the clerk.
He's had a look at it, but apparently it went down.
And what about a finger plate behind the handle? So if that happens again, it doesn't damage the door? Or do we wait until the door is damaged and then
We could
cover
certainly
it?
ask. Yeah,
You know the plates I mean? The piece of
Yeah.
aluminium
it's
behind
slightly
it.
difficult, but yeah, I mean, it is obviously the door itself is a metal, so it will need to
It will be riveted on.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly could ask.
But why would they need to bend the handle when it's open?
I would guess
It
some.
could be kids or something
Yeah.
fighting and somebody wants
Yeah.
to.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's locked, I suppose, some instructions.
Yeah.
We need another sign on there saying CCTV in operation.
Inside.
Only when you're in there.
I think putting signs up around the toilet box and CCTV might get us into some interesting
I mean,
Oh, they
conversations.
stay clean.
Might attract the wrong public. Okay. Hills to Levels project. Quite a lot to be said on that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Kick off.
No, you start.
One of the things, yeah, we had a meeting on site with the lady from FWAG, which is the Farming and Wildlife Advisory Group, were the ones who looked at the drainage. Whilst we had her on site, we looked at the works that have been done so far, and she was happy that they are okay. The reason that there are gaps underneath them at the moment is because it's not supposed to completely stop flow, but it's supposed to slow it down when there's a lot of water coming down. And also the barriers that have been put in so far are done in a natural way that hopefully they will establish themselves and grow into position to make it more solid. We were also talking to her about, you'll remember last time we had some work also done on the Mills Roberts' land up in the wooded area, which was funded totally by a grant from the Somerset Rivers Authority with the landowner's permission. They also wanted to talk to the next landowner up, and so we looked at some of their land to again see what could be done to slow water as it's coming down the knoll. So they're going to be coming back with some suggestions as to what can be done there, but it's talking about possible ponding areas just to hold water and then a series of little levees to let it go down slowly. So that again would be approaching Somerset Rivers Authority for grant funding. It wouldn't involve finance from the parish. In terms of the works that we were looking at last time, where the budget obviously had gone slightly higher than we were expecting, there was some positive news because they were saying that they might well be able to help contribute to some of the drainage parts of that. So again, I think they were going to come back to us with some further information, but it was a useful meeting. And I must admit, I saw parts of the knoll that I'd never seen before because we were actually on the sort of off the footpaths, which was fantastic.
Well,
So
there are two lakes up there. I don't think any of us knew, or ponds, and they were very keen to sort of dig those out and make them work and stage them. They also talked about the site, because there was a piece where we were talking about moving a lot of soil from the left-hand side of the slope to the right-hand side, and that's where the budget disappeared. And her comment back was, that'd be rather good, but actually there's another way of doing this. It was slowing it down further up the road, and also putting some culverts, proper culverts, into the footpath coming down. Ones that you could walk through, wouldn't fill up, and would still push the water off to the sides and down the gullies. And there was something, she was talking about a pond or something at the bottom by the kissing gate, wasn't she?
Yes.
Where we're going to hold the water there as well, or dig out the pond there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to come, but at the moment there is no cost and no suggestion at this point.
No, we're still waiting to hear back from them as to their suggestions, and she was going to go away and talk to another colleague to come up with some proposals as to what could work for us in our area.
So there's some grant funding available.
Yeah.
That's what we were told. Basically what we want to do.
Yeah.
She seemed quite positive that there were
Yeah.
was stuff and grants to get us to a much better position than we were in. We also looked at the wall on the church. So can we put a letter to the church from the parish council stating that the state of the wall, some of the bricks have moved, that wall is now getting to a position where it will become unsafe.
So
The wall up along the side of the church.
between the kissing gate where you walk through to the footpath and the main entrance to the church, there's the brick wall with the bank behind it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the top of the wall has been knocked off the base, and it's sticking out now by a good inch or so.
And some of the bricks are worn away.
Yeah.
And a lot of the mortar is gone. And the round flood bores are awful. Yeah, they don't work. So they need some work on it.
So letter to the PCC.
Any questions on any of that? No?
When you look at the work, it doesn't look like it's the result of any.
I've got to be honest, I went up there to sort of say, how does this work? And she said at the moment it won't.
No, the gaps are just too big, aren't they?
Yeah, and she said at the moment it won't, but it will. And if you look at some of it, she pointed out some of the growth, and what will happen is those will grow and form hedges. So water will still come through. She said it's not to stop water, it's just to slow it down at each stage and allow it to be absorbed. But that on its own is not going to do very much for us. It's got to go down into the ponds and be diverted. And we talked to them, Colin in a second, we talked to them about going along the footpath as well, didn't we? And reopening that up. Colin.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. That was my question to David, really. Where is the water going to go when it gets to the bottom kissing gate or the bottom footpath?
Right. Still out trickling along the side of the road because there is no where for the water to go. But she was going to go back and talk to this other person who was going to come out and see us and sort of, I think she did take a lot of pictures, so just say, because ultimately the water's going where the water's going, we can divert it somewhere else, but where?
And we can slow it down.
If we're
It's
slowing it
always
down,
going to find its way down that footpath, but if it's in a purpose-made channel with lots of these little weirs, little hedges, sleepers, whatever, it'll just take the energy out, so it should reduce a heavy rainfall event into something that's not got the force to wash the footpath out and wash through a house or do any damage.
Okay, thank you.
I think the message that I picked up from the meeting was it's not one thing, it's going to be lots of different activities all the way down the hill, including opening up ponds and having the ponds stepped. So as one overflows, it goes into another pond, goes in, and hopefully by then it's sinking away and slowing down.
It sounds like not an instant solution. We have to be patient. So it's something that's going to evolve over time.
Yeah, and if we're applying for grants, it's going to be a close one if we get it this year. So it's something that we'll do into the future. But yeah, anybody commenting on those gaps, she was also, no, they're not there yet, but they will grow, and they are growing. Any other questions on that, or concerns on that? So at the moment, we're committed to nothing, and we're just waiting for a plan to come to be discussed. And it's probably best if they bring it in and discuss it with me, because she seemed to know what she was talking about. Yeah, okay. Flagpole.
Positioning north.
Feeding on from last month's meeting, we've remeasured the pole and we are looking at about an 8 to 9 metre one now. But if you ask for a 9 metre solid glass fibre one, you're talking £600 delivery because it needs to be put on an Arctic lorry, especially because it don't bend or it don't, join together, it's all in one. But if you go for a 7 metre 2-part one, aluminium, where you join it together, it's only £35 delivery. Or you can go back to the normal 6 metre glass fibre one, which is still £35 delivery. And where it's going to be situated, we ain't got to worry about lorries or nothing going to be hitting it, because it is still going to be higher than a lorry anyway, at 20 foot. Well, and it's 6 metre is 18, 19, yeah, so it's just under 20 foot. So it's down to the committee whether we do the 6 metre one still.
Colin?
How high is our existing one?
That's what I just said. It's about
9 metres.
8 metre, between 8 and, well, it's 8 or 9, isn't it?
Yeah, 28 foot.
Yeah.
So you've got a 7, what have you got, a 7
I've got a 7 metre aluminium.
double section?
Yeah.
Or a 6 metre?
Or 6 metre double aluminium one, or 6 metre straight through glass fibre one. But if you have anything above 7 metre, you need to have it as an aluminium, so it's a double one. Otherwise, you've got to pay £600 delivery.
I'm a little bit confused why.
But what I wanted to ask is if we just have quotes of one company, or is it who?
No, we had two companies. I sent them all through.
On the same
But we
size
went with
as-
this one because it was the cheapest one at 478, wasn't it? That's what we all agreed last month. But then, because we remeasured it, we've got a.
Did you get any quotes from the company that we get the flags from? Because I thought they were. Didn't we look at them a while ago?
No, this is Union Flag Company. This is.
Can we just go back? What size pole are you suggesting to us that we should consider? 7 metre or 6 metre?
Myself, 7 metre myself.
Okay, 7 metre separate two section pole. And how much is that?
No,
No, 7 metre,
yeah,
2
7
section
metre
aluminium
is
pole.
784.
Can I propose that we go ahead and purchase the 7 metre 2 section aluminium post?
Anybody second it?
Quotes.
Hang on, who's putting it up?
Hold on.
Who's putting it up? Are they putting it up? Is that going to be their?
No, that's us putting it up. If you get someone else to put it up, well, I think we was on about speaking to.
Let's take the 2 sections separately, purchasing and the installation. From what I understand, it's 2 different areas, isn't it? Charlie, before we go to the final vote.
Dixon.
Okay.
So my question is, I thought you said the existing pole was 6 metres.
No, we
Right,
thought it was
Right, so what is the existing pole?
9 metres.
So the existing pole is 9 metres, we want to go for a shorter one?
Yeah, because it's being moved away from the road.
Right, okay. I thought you said it would clear the lorries.
It looks ridiculous.
Yeah, it still would clear the road.
Okay, hold on. Existing pole is 9 metres. We can't use that pole. We've got to purchase a second pole. Suggestion is that we buy a 7 metre pole.
Yeah, 7 metre double.
We either buy the plastic, and we've had a proposal, we either buy the plastic one, or we buy the aluminium folding one, which gives us a much lower £35 delivery charge. What would your be recommendation from the working group? Where do you want to go with this?
I suggest we get the 7 metre aluminium one. I
Colin,
suggest
2 section.
2 sections.
2 section. Colin, you put that forward as a proposal.
I did.
Does anybody want to second that?
Can I ask just a question?
Go on.
My only slight concern is, obviously the flags we've got at the moment were all bought on the basis that we've got a big flagpole. they're 2 metre, I think they're 2 metres size, so you can have 2 metre flag on a 7
7 foot.
pole. Is that? If we all think that's going to look okay, then I'm happy to go with it. I'm just not, I just don't want people to then look at it and say, oh, what's
Big
that?
flag, little pole. Yeah.
Just double checked, when I spoke to Graham yesterday all about it and that, I told him the flags that we got and the weight of the flag that we got. He turned around to the lady, he said, I'm laughing at you. I said, what do you mean? He said, because it just take any like that. He said, it's not going to look, it's not going to look thin because it's 20 foot high up in the air. So he said it's got the weight there to take it. To take a big 4 metre flag.
Your question?
Yeah, I'm fine.
So,
Yeah.
Still coming back to Amanda's comment, I don't think we can propose to buy a pole until we know how it's going to.
No, we need to.
Two separate issues. Two separate issues. Buying the pole and installation of the pole, because we've already got a pole, and we're going to move it. So I think it's two separate issues, and we'll come back to the installation. So very few companies will sell you a pole and install it.
Well,
so let's go back.
I'll row back. Can I propose initially that we agree that we accept that we're going to purchase a 7 metre double section pole, but until the cost of the installation is confirmed, which I'm sure we can deal with, then AD comes back to us next month. We've decided on the pole and we can decide on the installation, because if you're going to move the pole, we've got installation costs anyway.
Absolutely. So which is why
it's not
to
part
take
of the
the
decision.
Commons resolution we put forward. First piece is, do we give permission that we're going to buy a pole? Second piece is, can we install it? So we take it as two separate votes. Yes, we're going to buy a pole, but you can make that conditional on approval of the installation. But we're going to be installing at one point or another, or taking down the old one. So we're still in the same boat.
so if I get a price for the installation from 2 different people, then I'll bring that back next month as well.
Yes, yes, I would suggest that is the proposal and the thing.
I'm just concerned if the installation comes back at £1,000.
Yeah.
I know I'm being ridiculous,
Yeah,
but I don't want to turn around and say that a new flagpole is going to cost us £1,700.
but we've
So-
agreed that it needs to be relocated anyway.
But we can't use the old pole, can we?
No.
So we can't reuse the old pole.
It
cracking
will
it.
be what it will be, Charlie, at the end of the day.
I still
And-
don't,
and-
I disagree.
and-
I don't think 7 metres is high enough. I thought
It's
silly.
it's 7 foot short of the ones.
I think it would be ridiculous.
Chairman, what I'll do, I'll go back to Graham tomorrow morning then and see what a 9 metre double split one is. Okay?
And the
I'll get a quote for 8, 9 metres round. I'll get a quote for an 8 and 9 double split one. So it's still only like £35 delivery, so they're £600.
Yeah.
And then I'll get a quote for that, so it's a 9 and an 8 metre, yeah. And then I'll come back next month for that one, and also installation from Paul Dixon and get someone else for installation as well, so I'll come back for that as well next month, so we've got all in, so we know where we stand. Is that correct?
Yes.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, and that is also the cost of removal of the old one, and who's going to move that? Who's going to get rid of that?
We can take the flag, it's only a box, and we can cut them off.
We took it down last time, didn't we? Carried it up the road.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah.
Just one question for are we insured for us doing that type of work?
You should see what we normally do.
So while you're doing that, AD, we'll check that we've covered, because if you get hurt, we need to compensate. Yeah.
Can I just ask,
Sorry.
I'm sorry to bang on about this, but the company that we buy the flags from, they actually produce poles. Have you got a quote from them?
You keep saying the company, who's the company mandate? That's what I mean.
The name, there's a label
Flag
on
master.
flags. I don't know what.
Flag master. Yeah. No way.
Do you have?
Yeah.
I'm not.
That's why I never
I'm
gave
just
it
saying,
in, because their first quote was like £700 for this, for
That's
the
fair
£400 one.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, I couldn't believe
I'm
it.
just dotting all the i's.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, Flagstaff it's called.
Okay. So on the flagpole, on the flagpole, AD, you're going to give us get some prices on the 3.
I withdraw my proposal.
You're going to give us a quotation on the 3 sizes. And
Two
split
sizes, 8 and 9.
8 and 9 on top of the 7. and you give us estimation of installation
Yeah.
and we will look at whether we're covered to actually take down the pole.
You can tell you almost certainly say no.
So we'll just do it anyway.
Almost certainly. So,
Yeah.
We took it down before, carried it up the road, carried it back. This is like around.
Hold on.
Can Amy also tell us then, please, as the flagpole is coming down, it's metal, how is it going to be?
It's fiberglass.
It's fine.
It's fiberglass.
Fully coated fiberglass, yeah.
Where's it going to be disposed of?
I suggest it's chopped up and taken to the
Take-
We'll just fly tip it somewhere, everyone else.
I'll chop it up and take it down to the trailer.
Your dustbin, Colin.
Okay.
I could do with a flagpole actually.
Yours.
You could.
A multi-section
We'll
one.
do it.
Yeah, 50 pieces.
You can still sell it for 200 quid.
Yeah, a multi-section fiberglass
Could you?
one I can do with it.
You could sell it, but then it's a risk of it snapping if someone snaps. If it snaps in their garden, but cause a lot of pain.
Solid as you see.
No, it's a dodgy floor.
Flag
I'll
pole,
do that.
you've got that. So we'll bring that back to the next meeting, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was an easy one. Should we choose something that's difficult? Cold calling signage?
Oh yeah. So I've been through all sorts of stuff like on cheap sites like Amazon and things like this, but I couldn't find anything that was sturdy enough. So I've gone back to our old friend Arian Signs, and he said that he could do something which is made of the same material as the police use to make the neighbourhood watch signs in an A3 size, and they would be between £15 and £20 each. And I think what we decided before was like £150 or something. So I said to him, right, we'll have a discussion tonight, and then he said he can knock something up with some holes in it or whatever.
So if he's saying between 15 and 20, can we go back to him and say 10? We'll take 10 at £15.
Yeah, we'll do a deal with him.
Do a deal with him.
Yeah.
Is anybody, if you can get that, would you want to wait until the vote on that or go for that now?
Have to propose.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Second it, yeah.
So proposed and seconded, carried? Carried.
okay. So, are you going to talk to them, Amanda, or do you want me to?
Depends if you can haggle better than me.
I don't know.
Amanda.
Well, you can. Well, yeah, no, you can.
I've had to pay Amanda's bills.
What is it? What buildings on it?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's thick, yeah, but it's what it's made of.
Yeah, wording.
Yep.
Yeah.
So taken, carried. Amanda, if you can see if we can get 10 for
Can we
150.
establish what the wording is going to be? Is it just no cold call area or?
Well, that's what he said. He said it would be cheaper the less, obviously, the fewer words we have.
Yeah.
So if we said no cold calling, no, I would propose we have no cold calling zone,
No cold calling, no
if-
cold calling zone.
unless anyone has a better idea or whatever.
Too many words, people won't read it anyway.
Exactly. No cold calling zone in like red or something. But he said he makes a lot of those up, and he did tell me the name of the composition of it is part aluminium and part something or other. But they're designed to last, so that's the thing. So if we, probably if we had fewer words, it would be, we'd probably come in and
15.
budget anyway.
Rather than 20.
Yeah.
We'll take out mountains. Hills, I meant on
Mountains.
mountains.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'll ask him. He'd probably come like the neighbourhood watchman with a hole in it or something. We could just.
If you establish it,
Fly
then
post
I'll
on.
send him a sort of an order.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
the best thing.
Do you want me to talk to him first?
You have a chat with him first.
Yeah,
you should start to have a
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
So if you carry on with that, let me know you. And
Yeah.
then I'll just send him an order.
Yeah. Okay. If it's too expensive, we'll knock back some letters like John Harper used to do, so it doesn't make any sense.
No. No, John, right?
Old calling, no old calling.
No old calling.
No old calling.
Careful, some of us have reached that age. No old calls. Okay, so everybody happy with where we are on the signs? Okay. High-vis jackets.
Yeah, we said about that earlier on.
£20 in Burnham Market.
Okay. So who's picking those up?
We're not buying our own.
We're not.
You're not going to buy your own?
Are we buying our own each? Aren't we paying for our own?
What we,
The high-vis jackets.
Club ones.
They've got them upstairs in the Burnham Market for £20 each.
So let me just get this correct. Last time we all discussed this, we said we were going to have jackets, high-vis jackets for the flood committee with all of our kit. You know, if people want to buy their own high-vis, that's okay. But the council agreed that we would buy some high-vis jackets. Are we still in that frame of mind?
Mr. Chairman, I thought AD had said that they needed to be signed written on the back or something. Is that right?
Yeah, it'd be nice to put parish council on them.
Or
Or they've got
or
to
do we
have
have
flood group on the back, or flood action group or something out on the back of them, instead of plain.
Why don't we just have some all-round jackets, because if we're doing odd jobs and whatever,
Yeah.
you ought to be wearing high-vis anyway, but you don't really want flood action if you're doing something else.
Just have parish council on them.
Yeah, or nothing.
Because someone did mention that when we was doing it. I had no jacket on me, so I used my R&I one. He had his proper one on, and someone said, "Oh, got the R&I doing it then?" I went, "No," I said, "I can't find my jacket." Hold on.
Mr. Chairman, I thought, AD, you said that if you're doing flood prevention work, you had to have your high-vis jacket saying on the back, Brent Knoll Parish Council, or something like
It
that.
doesn't have to say.
If you don't, just buy plain high-vis jackets.
And you can put what you want on it.
You can put what you want on it, but
You
I
can put
suggested that it would
message.
look good if we had that on there.
Okay, and just a thought on the high-vis as an input. We're going to get through these because people are going to lose and take them off. You see them all the way up the motorway. We're going to get through these. So even if we buy two, very quickly we're going to be down to one. So we need a few of them. So we'll need to keep the price down.
Yeah.
So, and we need to keep going back and replenishing them so they all look similar. So if we agree on that, then we've got to agree to buy 4 or 5 of them, put them into storage so that we've got them. And it's probably wise not to spend too much money on them because we are going to lose them. So
£9.99 there you go.
£9.99. So that sounds.
And you can have it printed as well, whatever you want on it.
I was going to say, I just found one personalised, it's £30 though. So.
Oh, no, it's
Are they waterproof?
That's where I was
Are they waterproof for that?
No, they're just high vis.
And they're
you're not getting.
Oh no, these are jackets.
You want waterproof jackets?
That's what we get in Burnham Market. I've done them for carnival judging. They're £20 each.
Oh, they're cheaper.
No, they're not. They're totally waterproof.
Yeah,
I've been judging that's carnival in and I get so
Okay, hold on. We seem to have gone from one area to another. High vis, let's call them what they want. High vis vests or a high vis jacket. So,
I think we need jackets.
Colin.
Yeah.
I still have my high-vis jacket
Oh,
from
you
the
do?
original flood group that was set up. I will bring it in and you can see what we actually purchased at that time, which I think was really good. We also had trousers as well provided. So I've still got the stuff. I'll bring it in next meeting and you can have a look at what we provided last time.
We're not at risk at the moment, the flood committee having to go out and do anything. So we could wait till next meeting.
Do you want me to go and get my neighbour card?
Have you got it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Well done, David.
Colin, you better. You can
So
do
there
yours in
is-
the cupboard. We'll put a peg on it with some name.
Trouble is, it is expensive.
And a helmet, of course.
So the one I've just found on Amazon is a jacket,
Yeah.
personalised, £30. So it's only £10 more
Yeah.
expensive than the
But you put your
market.
name on
But
it.
we could put, well, not even our names, we could put Brent Knoll Parish Council.
You could put your, like you said, fag and
Oh,
like Colin.
we're going to
Well, you
suspend
said
the meeting.
fag.
Yeah, that's what Bob said. Flood action group.
No, I think it's fag.
If we're going to do that, we need to pass resolutions to do it, and I think
Explain what it was.
Okay, I want to stop the meeting for 10 minutes while we have a look at the jackets and probably have a time for everybody just to reflect before we go any further on this. So just stopping for 10 minutes. Reflect. Okay,
I mean, I know I'm not trying to be pedantic, but there is certain wording that we need to pass as a resolution to suspend
I
the
haven't got that
meeting.
word in front of me, I'm afraid. But it, due to the, usually the word.
It's not eventual nature,
confidential nature of the subject to be discussed, the meeting will be suspended for a period of time. That sort of thing.
Oh, in fact,
But it's not a confidential matter, but, you know.
people, we do need people to vote for the fact
Yeah,
that
we
it's
need
a
to
meeting.
vote
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Meeting,
Yeah.
okay, high-vis jackets.
defer to July meeting.
Defer to July meeting. Two considerations before you do it. One, we don't only flood in the winter, we flood in the summer. So if you've got a heavy jacket on, you won't really want to wear it in the winter, in the summer. And two, high-vis vests we can use and dispose of and replace very cheaply. So who's going to look into that for us? Who wants to run that?
I mean, if you like.
Okay, Amanda, and bring that back to the next meeting.
Yeah.
Colin, do you want to share?
I'll
Bring yours in.
bring the stuff that I was issued with, yeah.
Right, I'll try and find something less emotive. All right.
Interesting discussion.
Yeah. Well, okay, I haven't. Bench restaining.
Yeah, as you can see last week, the heat, I was going to come down last week, but it was too hot to do anything. This week I was going to come down, but now it's raining. Next week I was supposed to be coming down and do it, but it's supposed to be raining again. So I'm hoping to do it before the fake Saturday. I'm hoping that we might get a morning break. It only takes half hour to drive. So it will be done before next meeting anyway, definitely.
Ongoing.
It's supposed to be dry Sunday.
That's my day off Sunday.
The Lord rest.
And the last one, parish surgery.
Yeah, that was just something that we sort of touched on last time as to whether the timing of it was the right time. Does it serve a purpose? What came back, I think, involved was a couple of ideas. At least I got an email from what sounds like a message that you left, one of these strange messages you get these days, where it sort of interprets what you said. And you said you were quite happy with the format, because you were going to think about doing it as a county councillor, council surgery as well. Was that not you? Someone pretending to be you.
Yeah, I think it was probably.
But I think the only thing would be, I don't have a problem with that. I think the surgery as it is meets a need of certain people. It doesn't necessarily meet everybody. So whether I think even the last meeting we talked about whether we alternated sometimes between an evening session and a daytime. But it is something that I think is good if we can maintain that ability for people to come and talk to the parish, because some people don't like to come to a meeting when they're sat in front of 11 people and the camera rolling. So it does give that ability for people to raise issues that we can then hopefully pick up.
Okay. Well, you can just continue as it is for the time being.
Would you offer it at kind of 5 o'clock on a meeting day or something?
No, it's not a bad idea. Well, yes, it's not a bad idea actually.
Work. Some of us.
We used to do it actually before the meeting, didn't we? We used to have it at 4 o'clock, I seem to remember. We used to go 4 till 6 or whatever.
I think it just made it a very long afternoon and evening for you.
Oh,
sometimes,
incredible.
so-
Because I was coming from Cornwall at the time, so yeah, by the time I got to 10 o'clock meeting, end of 10 o'clock meeting, I was completely shattered. So, but 5 o'clock, couldn't see that be a big problem, really.
People that work have got the opportunity to
Yeah,
attend.
can't see 5 o'clock being a problem.
Maybe attend.
Really? Because our meetings are shorter now anyway, so that's not so bad. We used to have very long meetings at one time. And certain people here.
So we put in a proposal for it. Do we want to change it?
Well, should we give it a bit of thought?
Next month.
Yeah.
Put it into next month's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I like I'm going, it's eating on minutes.
As a report. Anybody?
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you heard anything about the electric coming, about the corner and that lot? Have we heard anything? Because the fence needs repairing now, because that's snapped.
We've written some
Our main post, that's snapped off, so he's looking at them before they even get in, and because that could cause someone to have an accident.
The last I heard was they're waiting for an engineering report.
Yeah.
Last I heard.
Right.
So,
So does that mean we've got to get the fence fixed anyway?
You know, need something done. Because it is very
well, I'll put it on the
wobbly
agenda anyway, so it's fencing,
as you walk in.
National Grid issues. Okay.
So,
Hill Lane car park, please. I.e. locking of, discussion of, please. And also, could you make sure that the shop lease is on matters of report? Because the fact that the shop lease has not been signed, we are vulnerable as a parish council. And it was also, the entering of a shop lease was a predetermining factor, a precondition, a condition precedent that we would allow the shop to go forward in the first place, a signed lease, and we still haven't got it. And I think we need to sharpen up on it, for want of a better word, please.
I mean, we've basically been let down by all the solicitors, actually. We've been appalling, we really have. I just think, we need to know it.
Let's find out where we are. We've got a letter going to, so let's find out where we are. Tracy? Okay, nothing from me? No?
That's it.
Thank you very much for the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.